What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to give you an update on my Evoker in Season 3, what I've been up to, and how it's kind of been playing. This thing has been an absolute blast, and I've been primarily doing it in Mythic Plus. I just think... I actually didn't even plan to really do this in Mythic Plus yet, but the team that I was running with didn't have a Bloodlust, so I was like, I'll just play that instead of my Paladin for now. I've been doing plenty of stuff with my Paladin, I'll do a video on that soon as well, but so far you can see my Mythic Plus rating has been pretty good. We got almost 10s done across the board in the first week, which I'm very happy with. I'm also splitting my time with my Paladin, doing Raid and Mythic Plus with that, and so I haven't been able to completely focus on the preservation of Evoker, but I've been having a lot of fun on this thing, and it has been performing exceptionally well. I think that I'm not sure that people were necessarily down bad on Prez, but I think a lot of the tiers lists for healers didn't have preservation of Evoker very high, and I just feel like this thing's just incredible. So this is the build that I'm running here. It's Chrono Warden. I don't really think you can realistically play Flame Shaper in Mythic Plus. I think that that's a bit troll, but Chrono Warden is exceptional. It is very, very good. And in particular, if you're able to get a tier set bonus going quickly, the new tier set bonus, getting a 1 minute tip the scales completely changes everything for you. I'm telling you, this is completely bonkers. It absolutely fundamentally changes your gameplay loop and how powerful you are. And the 4-piece bonus is really good too. I don't have that yet, but it's going to give me even more damage and healing, and it's going to send out even more Chrono Flames than it already does, which is very, very strong. But just having a 1 minute tip the scales is really strong on its own. It's just very, very strong. You do this into like Spirit Bloom pretty much all the time. If you want some offense, you can do tip the scales into Fire Breath, and it does enormous amounts of damage, followed up by a bunch of Living Flames that also do a bunch of damage. Chrono Flames, sorry. It's very strong, and it really... once you get the new 2-piece, like, it feels like your damage just and your healing just goes through the roof. One thing I was looking at is potentially dumping my 4-piece, and if some of you guys are wondering about this, I'm going to talk about that right now. So I dumped my old 4-piece right away to get the new 2-piece. I think you should do that every single time, right? If you're playing Chrono Warden, Prez Evoker, you should get the 1 minute tip the scales right away, no matter what. It's much stronger than the old 4-piece. The next question is, Zuko, when do I dump my old 2-piece for the new 2-piece? And the question really that it boils down to is, how much healing is Insurance doing? And in the dungeon testing that I've been doing, Insurance is not doing a lot of healing anymore. In fact, if we look at the amount of overhealing that this is doing, it's actually only doing about 1.5% of my overall healing, right? About 50% of this is overhealing. So it's doing 3% overall, but it's not actually doing that much. So I would say it's a good idea to probably dump your old 2-piece when you get a pretty decent upgrade. I'm going to look at this right now. So you can see these gloves right here. These are heroic level gloves. I think you could probably do this with even champ level gloves, but certainly with heroic level gloves or heroic level items or above, you can replace your old 2-piece. I'm going to do that right now because the intellect gain is just really big, right? You get intellect, you're getting stamina, you're getting those secondary stats. It's very, very, very good. So I'm doing that at the heroic level. That's what I would encourage you guys to do. Again, we're only getting 1.5% more healing from Insurance. So it's really not important. It's just not. Your other healing here is going to, I have overhealing everywhere. Living Flames overhealing, Spirit Blooms overhealing, my Life Giver's Flame. So all of this stuff is just going to overheal a little bit less because you've lost the Insurance healing down here. It's not that big of a deal. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Okay, so get some heroic level items if you want, and I would replace your tier set. You want to get the new tier set going as quickly as possible on your preservation evoker. It's very, very good, but especially the 2-piece. Get 2-piece unlocked immediately if you can. That to me is really critical. Let me just walk you through a couple. I've shown you some clips here, but I want to walk you through a couple of the pulls here. This is the opening pull with Bloodlust. Usually you pull the stuff on the right hand side and then you're going to move to the left. I'm going to grab our tank here and rescue him over here so that we can gather everything together on the left side. It's all going to gather up, and then we're going to press Bloodlust for our team. and we're going to start going. You're going to want to launch Tip the Scales right away. There's my Tip the Scales. I've already tipped the scales into a Spirit Bloom, and it was a little bit premature potentially, but it's okay. We're going to do lots of healing. I've always been impressed, I think, with Preservation Evoker's ability to respond to incoming damage, particularly big burst damage that's coming in. You have very, very good tools with Temporal Anomaly plus Spirit Bloom, Temporal Anomaly plus Dream Breath. You can stasis your Temporal Anomaly into a Spirit Bloom, or like a Temporal Anomaly into Verdant Embrace into a Dream Breath, like all that kind of stuff, right? So I think it's really critical to know the combos that you have when you have them, and to be able to use them effectively. And I just feel like Pres Evoker has a combo for every situation. Every single situation that I come up against, I feel comfortable. I'm not worried at all. There's other healers where I genuinely feel like I run out of tools, and I'm like, oh no, I don't have anything left for this. Like, what do I do? But Pres Evoker just has Spirit Bloom and Dream Breath and Temporal Anomaly always available, and those spells, when you put them together, do so much healing. And especially now with the 1 minute Tip the Scales, it's just, you literally have a cooldown coming around the corner every like 20 seconds, it feels like. So I never feel like I'm out of gas on my Pres Evoker. It just feels wonderful to have a healer that feels so comfortable that way. That's really how it feels to me. And I think that if you guys were worried at all about Pres Evoker, just don't be. It's in a great spot. Even the extra sort of, I'm going to call them sort of secondary cooldowns, which would be something like Zephyr, and then your time dilation, putting that on somebody to keep them alive, like the tank or somebody who's about to die. You know, those spells are super important. But you've got really heavy hitting abilities, like you've got Rewind still, and you have a Temporal Anomaly into a Verdant Embrace into and you've got your Emerald Communion combo, right? You got Temporal Anomaly into Verdant Embrace into a Communion, which is just going to full heal everybody. So you always have a response. In my experience, on all the dungeons I've done so far, every situation I've been put in, I feel like I've got something ready to go to keep my team alive, and that feels very good to me. If you haven't done the Halls of Infusion, or Halls of Atonement dungeon, sorry, you have to go kill these shards of Halkus. They're on either side. Let me just go to MDT really quickly here, so that I can just show you what this looks like. So again, you're like starting right here, and you're doing this first pull to kill this shard of Halkus, then you're killing this shard of Halkus over here. That's going to make this boss spawn. You're like putting like energy into the boss so that he'll spawn. You have a couple of other pulls in the middle here that you're going to do. Don't mind this like giant pull. This isn't necessarily accurate, but then you're going to kill Halkus, and then you're going to work your way up towards the second boss, Echelon. And this is where it gets kind of tricky. There's a lot of bleeds and stuff going on in here. But again, as an Evoker, you have extra cooldowns for that with your Cauterizing Flames. Very nice. The bleeds in Halls of Atonement and the bleeds in Arakara, you can deal with both of those really easily. And there's curses in Halls of Atonement. I think there's a curse in Dawnbreaker and some other dungeons as well. So having this 1 minute cooldown just to be able to get rid of that stuff is massive. Very nice. Again, extra tools from Prez. You're going to work your way up here into Echelon, and then we'll go forward. I'm going to skip ahead to those packs. So let me just move forward here. We're killing... Here's the boss fight. I'll do this really quickly. Halkus, if you don't know, he's going to like put this crumbling slam on the ground, and it leaves behind like a blood pool that you can't stand in. At the very beginning of this fight, he does it 4 times. That's 1. This is 2. And then this is 3. And then this is going to be 4. He does it 4 times, and then he does a spinny laser thing, okay, that you have to dodge. The first time he does it 4 times. After the first time, he always does it 5 times. He does 5 slams. And sometimes the beams will reverse in direction, so watch out for that. Going to reverse like right now. There it is. It goes backwards, so be really careful about that. So once he's done here, here's the first slam. Slam number 1. Slam number 2 just went down right there. Slam number 3 is right here. Slam number 4 is right there. And then he's going to do 1 more final slam. He's going to do 5 of them this time. We just 4 at the beginning and then 5 every other time. I don't know why, but that's just the way it works. Then then you want to move the boss away from the puddle so you can do your spin. That's how this entire fight works. Slam, 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 move, beams, repeat. Okay? That's that fight right there. Then you're going to move up either the left or the right side. We're going left side this time. I'm not sure everybody's kind of totally settled on which direction they want to go. But this section of the dungeon is potentially the hardest because of all the bleeds that you're going to get from the little ankle biters. There's all these little dudes in here called Stone Fist Ankle Biter. They're putting these bleeds on my entire team. They look like little gargoyle symbols. You can get rid of them with Cauterizing Flame, which I think I failed to do in this pull because I just didn't realize it was a bleed right away. I know now. But I should have dispelled the stereo like a long time ago. I should be dispelling button potentially with the Cauterizing Flame. If you have... There's probably never been a better season to run Dwarf. If you want to switch your race to a Dwarf, 2 dungeons have like very potent bleeds and poisons. If you're thinking about like Arakara. So Evoker can really help with that, but you can see I'm really behind on the bleeds now. There's 5 on a stereo and there's 4 on me. So I'm kind of messing it up. So that's on me. Thankfully, there's these new stones where you can respawn at the last boss that you were at, which is right there. These waystones are amazing. You get right back in the fight and you can kill it. Now, the next fight that we do is these guys in here with the Reavers, I believe. Oh, no, sorry. We do this pull on the left. Then we do the middle pull. It's got a few more ankle biters that are going to be patrolling around. You're going to see them running around like right in this area. Here they come. So we're pulling this with these ankle biters over here. And again, we're going to get more bleeds, and I think I'm going to handle it a little bit better this time. Damage wise for Evoker, I've said this a lot, but like the burst damage you have is outrageous. You can do tip the scales into Fire Breath to do a really, really big burst of damage, and then your Chrono Flames afterwards are just as good. They're really, really strong. Asterial has 2 bleeds. I'm going to cauterize him now, I think. Yeah, there it is right there. So now his bleeds are gone, and that's very good. And then I'm going to dispel myself with that circle. I think I handle this pack much better than the previous one. So just know, you have tools to deal with this. And it's one of the hardest parts of this dungeon is the multiple stacking bleeds that you got to worry about. But it's doable. It's very, very doable. And yeah. There's also Disrupting Shout. You need to stop casting when he's doing that. Otherwise, you're going to get interrupted. I get interrupted a couple times later. But that's the trash there. And then once you're done, we pull this stuff on the left and we kill it. Yada, yada. Then you got to wait for these slashers to turn into stone. So this guy just turned into stone right now. You can see he's orange, and then we can sneak past him. There's a very particular spot you need to walk. You need to walk like right here, so you don't aggro this and you don't aggro this. It's, oops, sorry. What on earth just happened? Back out again. That's not the right window. So you need to go right in the middle here. So I actually looked like Uxie kind of went on the side. I thought that was, never mind. I guess you have a little bit more wiggle room than I thought. But there you go. You want to sneak past those guys, and this is the second boss. This is not Halkias, but this is Echelon. This guy basically spawns 6 ads that need to die, and then somebody gets a brown circle, and the brown circle has to go on top of the corpses of the ads that you've killed. The ads will run in at the beginning, so don't touch them right away. Otherwise, they'll start casting. If you aggro these ads right away out here, they'll start casting their spells. But if you don't do anything, then they'll run in a little bit, and then you can like silence them and stuff, which is really good. These guys are all going to die in one little puddle, which is what we want. And then we got a brown circle right here on button. And he needs to move a little bit over here. Yeah, he's trying to hit all the ads. Unfortunately, I was in the circle at the same time. You don't want to be in that circle. I messed that up. Putting that circle on the ads detonates their corpses. That's the entire fight. Ads will spawn. He'll leap onto somebody. And there's the ads again. You want to blow up the corpses of the ads. As far as healing goes... Once Echelon jumps on somebody's head, a dot goes on top of them, and it's really nasty. That dot is really rough. There we go, big burst healing there. So this is on me, and then I'm going to get a dot. I almost get all the ads. I'm missing this ad over here, unfortunately, but I almost got them all. Then I'm going to get stunned, and I'm going to take this is the dot right here. This dot does a tremendous amount of single target damage to you, so you need to be really careful about that and make sure you heal it up. That's that fight, okay? Then you're going to pull a bunch of stuff to the outside area. Everything that's inside this door, you want to pull it outside. And you want to blow it up. We actually have Bloodlust. We messed up our Bloodlust window. I think we should have lusted earlier, but I forgot to. Doesn't matter. Again, we're doing lots of damage, 1.6 million right now, and we're healing people. So let's move on to the next boss. You're going to kill these guys in here. Then you're going to skip past the 2 gargoyles. Just run through the middle, okay? Get past the 2 gargoyles there. You don't need them. High Adjudicator Alise. She spawns 1 ad that needs to go into these canisters. 1, 2, 3, 4 canisters that are here, okay? Make sure you put the ad into the canister. It's going to fixate on somebody. And then from a healing perspective, you have dots to dispel. You basically want to just dispel whoever is the most vulnerable. So I'm running over here. You can see the line, meaning I'm fixated. And the ad is going to go into this little like canister and get consumed. And that's it. While the ad is active, it pulses AoE damage that will kill your team. So you need to prioritize heavily on getting that ad into the canister. Okay, that's really, really important. Okay, pretty simple fight. A lot of like area denial. You're going to spend most of your time as a healer getting rid of these dots on whoever's the most vulnerable. And then you just heal up the second person if they can handle it. And that's pretty much the whole fight. It takes a while, actually, without lust. Now, this final hallway, you're going to go through this blood door. And then there's all these ads here. They're kind of sitting in church, right? And there's a guy at the top, at the front. This guy is a big mini boss. The strategy that people usually employ is to pull him away from all of his ads and to try and nuke him down with Bloodlust. Now, we try this right here. We lust right now. He does an ability called Dark Communion. This heals him for like 40% of his HP, 35, 40% of his max HP. And then it spawns a bunch of ads as well. What you're going to try and do is kill him before he does the next cast of his heal ability. You want to try and nuke him down right now with Bloodlust before he does the next cast. Unfortunately, we didn't have, I guess, near enough damage. Our guys were doing pretty good damage here. This is almost entirely single target damage. Like they were doing okay. Well, it's not terrible damage. And I'm healing people. But then after this Wicked Bolt, I think he starts channeling again. There's Dark Communion. So we only got half of his HP down. We're beating him up still, but you see he's going to heal. Watch his HP. It's going to go ding, ding, ding. He's healing up. So he got probably 30% of his health back there. And then you can keep beating him down. I'm not sure if this is going to be the best strategy moving forward. I highly doubt Blizzard wants us to be doing this kind of skip. This is the skip we did a long time ago, and it's the same skip that we're doing right now. We're trying to not aggro all those mobs down there because it makes the fight easier, but we'll see. This is a pretty large healing check. Actually, like they added some abilities to this guy that are pretty crazy. They do a lot of damage now. So here's his Dark Communion once again. This is the third one. He's going to heal again. He'll go up to 50% HP, and then I think we can kill him before he does the next one. So we get right down to the wire here. He's doing Dark Communion. He's starting to channel Dark Communion right now. And we kill him right as the lines go out. Right as they start to go out. So we end up killing him, which is good. And then we only have 3.5 minutes left for this key. This is a pretty tight key, actually. So I need to sit and drink for a second. And then we're off to the races. This fight, if you've never done it before, he throws statues all over the room. If a statue that he's throwing collides with another statue, it will basically double tap you on the damage. You saw when he threw that first statue, it did AoE damage. If you hit another statue, it like doubles up that AoE damage. It does a lot. It's really, really nasty. So be careful about your positioning on this fight. Do not stand near another statue, because if it bumps into an adjacent statue, it'll do tremendous amounts of damage. The main mechanic on this fight is when he goes into the middle, which he's going to do right meow. Right? Oh, he's doing it there. In a second here. So he does this thing here. Sorry, he does Shadow Door into the middle, and then he pulls all of his statues towards the middle. So you don't want to be near the middle when he's doing this. And then he pushes his statues away. And then you need to stand in between the statue and the boss to soak the beam. There are 4 beams, one going to each statue. You need to stand in between him and the statue so that he can't like channel onto it. So positioning is really important here, and you're going to take a lot of damage. You need healer cooldowns here, like big ones. I wasn't quite ready for this one. I don't know what I was doing. I was being an idiot, but I make it work. Then you're going to have to get out of dodge, get out of these circles, but that's the main mechanic. He goes into the middle, and he's going to channel onto his statues, and you have to intercept the channel that he's doing. Okay. Telekinetic toss. He's into the middle again. He pushes them out. We're doing round 2. Bella got hit, I think, here, unfortunately. If you get hit with any damage, you're just going to die. So he gets pushed. I guess Bella gets hit there. He's barely even near the statue. That's unfortunate. So he gets hit, and then when the statues land, they do AoE damage as well. And you can see it ends up killing him. You got to get people up quickly here. Get people up really quickly. 1 minute tip the scales is huge here. I have a rewind as well still. I have time dilation. I have a stasis that's ready to go. I'm going to let it go probably in a second here. Actually, I didn't even need it. We're actually so fine. We didn't even need to use the stasis. Once he's done his channel twice, he never does it again, as far as I've seen. Once he's done his channel 2 times, that's it. He doesn't do it ever again. Then you can just nuke him down. We get right down to the wire here. We're pretty close. 18. 15. At this point, I knew we had it. Good shit.
The tightest fucking timer, dude. Holy shit, that's crazy.
We did overpull, but yeah. So there you go. That's the end of that dungeon. I'm going to show you my numbers at the end of that dungeon too. So we ended up doing 817k DPS overall. Once again, I think Prez Evoker is one of the highest DPS specs in the whole game. Sorry, healers in the whole game. I think it's very, very, very good. And then our healing was good too. So we were looking at Spirit Bloom, Living Flame, Temp Anomaly, Golden Hour. It's really, really good. Life Giver's Flame is just me pressing Fire Breath on people. And then Twisted Mana Sprite is my Delve Trinket. You should go get this Delve Trinket right now if you don't have it yet. I have a bad version of it. I have an adventurer version of it. I didn't even get like this wasn't like from a bountiful chest. It was from a regular chest, but it's very, very, very strong. That's what it ends up looking like. It's very good. I love Chrono Warden Prez Evoker. It's super strong. It has really good tools for getting rid of some of the bleeds and diseases and stuff and curses that are in this season. The damage is exceptional, and it feels comfortable when you're healing your allies. It feels like you always have something up and available, ready to go for every situation that I was in. I just never really felt like our team was in danger. So really fun, really awesome. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions. I will link my build down below as well. Thanks so much again for watching. Love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.